evening, Mr. Mayor. Tom Rebmen, 11610 Street Court, and I'm here to talk today, Orlando, Florida, 32817. I'm here to talk today because I'm very upset about an article I read in the paper this Sunday. I can't address the commissioner directly by the rules, so I'll say to you, Mr. Mayor, the purpose of my visit today is to request that Commissioner Kelly White recuse herself from all further homeless discussions or related to where the shelter is located. And the reason that I'm asking her to do that is that there seems to be a possible, well, I'll read her husband's words. Today, given my family's recent addition of 3 girls, any idea of locating more homeless families within our core area would go from an economic blow to a very personal attack. My family has chosen to make downtown our home. We will not be forced out quietly. Now, I'm not accusing Ms. White of anything. I believe Ms. White's a great person, but we need respect and integrity. And if a commissioner's spouse is going to state for the family that it's a personal attack upon them to have homeless services near them, I think that's an impropriety. So, you may or may not agree with me. I just feel that since her husband owns a major construction firm, he's a very notable member of the community, and for him to say that makes me wonder if her vote and discussion has any impropriety to it. Is there any possibility that maybe it's not a very valid or untouched opinion? So I'm asking you, Mr. Mayor, to please ask Ms. White to recuse herself, because I believe there is a chance she could financially or personally benefit based on what her husband said in the paper. And finally, I wasted 2 hours in meetings today. I'll talk to you about that next meeting. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mayor, I generally don't do this, but can I make a statement?
You go ahead, you go ahead. Yes.
I'm insulted by the fact that this guy from Orlando comes in, has no idea what our community is about, has no history of understanding what we've gone through with the overabundance of social services in our core area, downtown, and that when one of our residents speaks up and basically echoes what this commission has said, that enough is enough, do not approach that microphone. And when we say enough is enough,
he's not addressing you, sir. I'm sorry.
that, you know, this is completely inappropriate. It is his ignorance to Daytona Beach, our history, and what we have been through, what we're trying to accomplish, that is resulting in this misinformation, slanderous type of information being presented to this commission.
Please have a seat, everyone. We haven't called anyone. Have a seat. You may have that, yes, sir. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you. Okay.
These are televised. And when somebody gets up there and says something that misleads the people that are watching this on television, it's very damaging to our community. And honestly, sir, I would like for you to go back to Orlando and stay there.
Okay. And I simply want to say to you, sir, I'm not going to ask her to recuse herself, and I do not feel that your claims warrant any merit, and I personally feel that they're ridiculous. She has a right, her husband has a right to voice his opinion, and she has a right to represent her constituents who have elected her to do her job. So that's all I have to say. If you have a member wish to weigh in.
I just want to make one other comment. I felt, because I read the email that was sent to us today about it, and I feel like, you know, anybody has a right to express their opinion, and just because one of us sits in office does not mean that our partners don't have the right to express their views, and they have a right to have their own views. And, you know, our decisions are made based on all the information that we get from all of our, you know, people, and I have no concerns whatsoever about Commissioner White and the decisions that she makes. And also, you know, Jack, like you said, reflects the views of how many people that have lived with the issue for many, many years feel, and people in my zone who don't live in downtown but live around where the agencies are located within the concentration of agencies, you know, I hear the same thing all the time. They feel overwhelmed, and these are not new comments that are being made. Jack just put a very business, you know, a voice to it. That's what Jack did. So.
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
Our next speaker is Marjorie Johnson, and on deck is Rosalind Mallerson.
Good evening.